Okay, welcome to another episode of Pixar Movie Reviews. Today, we're on the Pixar sequel that I think everybody had been waiting for. At this point in time in the Pixar lineup, we had two Toy Story sequels, two Cars sequels, a Monsters Incorporated prequel, and a Finding Nemo sequel. But it was summer 2018 that we finally got the Pixar sequel I think everyone had been waiting for. Disney and Pixar's 20th feature film, Incredibles 2. I love The Incredibles, and I had been waiting years and years and years for an Incredibles 2. So when I heard back in 2014, 2015, something like that they were finally doing an Incredibles sequel, I got super excited, because I love The Incredibles so much, I wanted to see what else was going to happen to the family. My family and I saw Incredibles 2 the night of its opening day on June 15th, 2018, and I can say right now, I was not disappointed in the slightest. Incredibles 2 is everything I wanted from an Incredibles sequel. Action, heart, humor, everything that made the original Incredibles so good was carried over to Incredibles 2. It got extremely positive critical reviews and was an even bigger box office hit than the first Incredibles, probably because everyone had been waiting so long to see the sequel. Incredibles 2 joined Toy Story 3 and Finding Dory as Pixar's third billion-dollar grossing hit at the worldwide box office. The film also received a number of award nominations, namely Best Animated Feature Award nominations, but lost practically all of them to Columbia Pictures, Sony Pictures Animation, and Marvel's superhero film from the end of 2018, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is also a really good superhero movie. In this case, I'm okay with Disney and Pixar losing, because Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is also really good. Best Animated Feature Award or not, Incredibles 2 is easily one of the best Pixar sequels and best Pixar films in general that I have ever seen in my lifetime. So why waste any more time talking about how great it is when I can just talk about the plot and everything right now? Picking up right after the first movie left off, Incredibles 2 opens with the Incredibles battling the Underminer, the John Ratzenberger villain that showed up at the end of the first movie. Although he manages to escape with the money he stole from the bank, the Incredibles manage to stop his drilling machine from destroying City Hall. Unfortunately, the Incredibles are caught and arrested for their illegal superhero deeds. We learn that the Incredibles, as the plain old Parr family, Bob and Helen, aka Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl, and their kids, Violet, Dash, and Jack Jack, have been living in a motel together ever since the explosion from Syndrome's plane destroyed their house at the end of the first movie. Government agent Rick Dicker, now voiced by Jonathan Banks, taking over for late Pixar employee Bud Luckey, tells them that they've only got 2 weeks left in the motel because the superhero relocation program that Dicker works for has been shut down. Because politicians don't understand the good supers do just because it's right. But things aren't all bad. A friend of the Parrs / Incredibles, Lucius, aka Frozone, managed to escape the police and met a guy who represented a business tycoon named Winston Dever, voiced by Bob Odenkirk, who asks Mr. Incredible, Elastigirl, and Frozone to meet him for a top-secret meeting. Winston, along with his sister Evelyn, voiced by Catherine Keener, want to make supers legal again because their parents were superhero fans. Winston and Evelyn want a telecommunications company called DevTech, and want to make supers legal again by showing the public the good superheroes can do, and that they shouldn't always worry about what the police think. They should think more about they see it from the superheroes' perspective, basically, and see that supers can do good without messing too much up. Of course, Mr. Incredible is eager to jump at the chance to be a super again, but based on Winston and Evelyn's pie charts and other graphic charts on the supers' work in the last couple years, they decide that Elastigirl is their best bet. So, they have Elastigirl run a campaign to help make supers legal again. Using tiny cameras embedded into her supersuit, Elastigirl will perform heroic acts and help bring the public's faith in supers back. And if she can catch bad guys without messing too much up, all supers will be made legal again. Though he's disappointed not to get the job, Mr. Incredible tells Elastigirl it'll do good for her and other supers, including their kids, if she does this campaign. From there, we get two basic storylines. The main storyline is Elastigirl trying to make supers legal again by showing the good they can do. And the other is Mr. Incredible taking care of the kids and trying to help them in their everyday problems. Dash with his math homework, Violet with her crush on the boy she likes, Tony Ridinger, and the big one is Jack discovering his new powers that he started manifesting at the end of the first movie and in the short film, Jack Attack. Easily, the two best things about this movie from the get-go are the animation and the characters. The animation has definitely improved in the last 13 or 14 years since the first movie. Animation on the humans looked pretty good compared to the humans in the first Toy Story, but the animation in the sequel is even better. And the characters are all great. Both Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl learn the struggles and the good things about doing what they do, superheroing and parenting. It helps that almost all the original voice cast is back. The only characters they had to recast were Dash, because Spencer Fox was all grown up, and Rick Dicker, again, because Bud Lucky wasn't feeling well and passed away shortly after Jonathan Banks replaced him as Dicker. I also like that we get to see more of the kids and Frozone in this one. There's also a little subplot in the middle involving Edna Mode taking care of Jack, which you can see the whole story of in a short film on the Blu-ray called Auntie-Edna. I also really like the new characters, Winston and Evelyn, and the wannabe supers like Void, plus the world building is amazing with new cities and places to go. I also really like the villain, the Screenslaver. I don't think Pixar has done a hypnosis-inducing villain up to this point, so he's pretty good. Although, in reality, the Screenslaver, spoiler alert, turns out to be Evelyn, who's actually a surprise villain, which both Pixar and Disney had done surprise villains in their animated films for years, so it's kind of becoming old. That's really my only problem, is that Evelyn as a surprise villain is pretty good when you find out she's actually the Screenslaver, but obviously she's nowhere near Syndrome in the first movie. I think aside from her, of Evelyn as a surprise villain, when we've had so many surprise villains over the last several years, and of the kids' subplots, Dash's subplot is probably the weakest with the new math homework, but I can understand why it would appeal to people, because haven't we all been there, having trouble with math? That's about all. Other than that, I'm really happy Brad Bird is back writing and directing this film, Michael Giacchino with the score. So, a few minor nitpicks aside, Incredibles 2 is easily one of my favorite Pixar movies of all time. Currently, I have it at number 2 on my ranking of all the Pixar movies, right between Toy Story 3 at number 1 and Inside Out at number 3. So there you go, that's my thoughts on Incredibles 2. Let me know what you think of Incredibles 2. Do you like it better or worse than the first movie? Where are you at on it? And thanks so much. We've got one more review left on Pixar movie reviews coming up in a few days, so thank you so much. Hope you're all having a good day. I'm Josiah Milky. Thanks for watching.